Greetings, gaming universe. My name is Retro Dave, and this is going to be a slightly different video today. So last week I was interviewed by Holly from the Phoenix Remix, and she posted a lovely post on her blog about me. She sent me a whole bunch of questions to answer, and I answered them the best I could. And I'm really flattered that she would do that. And so as a thank you, I thought I would take 5 of the questions that she's sent me over and asked me and re-answer them to her and to you, the viewers of my channel, in person, like on camera. So let's get started. The first question is, what can people expect from your YouTube channel? What is it all about? So my channel primarily is a retro gaming channel, focusing mostly on Let's Plays. My collection, I'm a retro games collector, and my channel is basically my exploration of my own collection of retro games. The way I want to share my retro games collection with other people is through the actual gameplay. I don't believe in just keeping these games as trophies or collectible items. I believe in sharing them with other people, you know. So that's why I'm primarily a Let's Play channel, because what's the point in owning these games if you can't play them? So what can you expect from my channel? What's it all about? My channel, currently I'm focusing on playing 2 games at any one time. I'm probably going to move that up to 3 games, just because I'm trying to focus on uploading 3 videos a week, once every 2 days. It's not working too well at the moment, but you know, I'm giving it my best shot, trying to get 1 video out every 2 days. So if I have 3 different games that I can swap between over that period, then it makes it easier for me to know where I'm at. But for now, it's 2 games. The 2 games that I'm playing currently are Zelda: A Link to the Past and Prince of Persia. The original Prince of Persia, but the SNES version, which features extra levels and slightly harder gameplay. For starters, I'm mainly doing platformers and adventure games, although I will move on to Doom, which is a first-person shooter. I love Doom, not very good at it, and I can't wait to start playing it, because I want to see how far I can get through it. I've never fully sat down and played it. I have many other games that I can play, and my main collection is SNES games, but I'll also have games featured from my Sega Mega Drive collection, my PlayStation collection, my original PlayStation collection, my NES collection. Yeah, it's going to be good fun. The next question is, what is in store on your channel? What can people look forward to? Well, I've already covered some of that in the previous question, but let's have a look at what I said to start with. So I said, yeah, the next game that I'll be playing is Doom. I'm kind of celebrating the new Doom coming out, and I don't currently own a PS4 to play the new Doom, but it looks fantastic. I can't wait to get one so that I can play it. Currently, I will be celebrating this by playing the original Doom, and hopefully people can see where the game started from, what the original developers had to go on. Very clever coding to make it look 3D. First-person shooters back then. This is before the era of the PS1 N64 rivalry with a 3-dimensional game. So anything 3-dimensional had to have really good, clever coding to get it to look right. I'm currently doing Zelda: A Link to the Past, but after that I'm looking on exploring the original Final Fantasy. I have the Final Fantasy Origins disc for the PS1, which consists of 2 discs, Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2, and they were re-released with some cutscenes and a few extra bits, and I can't wait to play them. So I thought the best way for me to, have that experience, because I never had that experience, is to save it for when I'm recording it, so that I can share that experience over YouTube. So I can't wait for that either. That's coming. That's what you can look forward to. I'll also try and start doing a monthly vlog like this, and like my last vlog, which is exploring my my games collection. I'm not sure what to do too much with it yet, but I mean, we've already started. My channel primarily at the moment is retro games, hence Retro Dave. I like to think in the future that I might be able to splice in a couple of modern games in there, but for now it's going to be purely just exploring my retro games collection. Next question. So the third question is, what are your overall top 3 games and why? Now this excited me. I love answering this question because it means I can reflect on my 3 favourite games, which are just, to me, they are very special. All 3 of these games are really, they defined who I am, and they defined my childhood and like how I developed as a person. So Super Mario Bros. Is my 3rd favourite game. With Super Mario Bros, I have played it on various consoles, in various iterations. I love it. It's revamp on the SNES in Super Mario All-Stars. I love Super Mario All-Stars. Just, it's the one that I grew up with, and I played that one. I did own Super Mario Bros. / Duck Hunt. I've got it here. This is the original, my original copy of this. I did actually own this before I owned the one on the SNES, but as a kid, Super Mario Bros. Itself was just too hard for me. I was too young to really be able to play it. It was only when I got the SNES and got Super Mario All-Stars, it allows you to restart, when you get game over, it allows you to restart from the start of the world rather than restart the entire game, which at the time just made more sense to me because I was never going to complete it in one whole run through. Nowadays I can. See, this game is like, with Super Mario Bros, I turn to it, it's like my chill out zone. If I need to just shut out the world and play something that's not stressful, that's not gonna piss me off, that's just calm, I can play it, I know the game really well, I'll play this game, Super Mario Bros. It's really fun, really simple. In a nutshell, you just keep running right and jump intermittently. That's it. It's the simplest game, and yet so majestic. Obviously, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is my 2nd favourite game of all time. I have played this game hundreds and hundreds of times. Let me just get it out. Here it is. This game, I know back to front. I'm not the fastest in the world at it. I can complete it in about 4 hours. But I know this game so well, and I love it. The whole reason I got into retro games in the first place is because of this game. My quest to find games as good as this. And it's hard to find ones. I found a few. A lot of them I haven't yet played. One of them specifically is Zelda Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. Haven't played it yet. I know it's just as good as this, and I can't wait to play it. If I'm like, right, I need to play a game, what am I going to play that I know I will enjoy? I'll just turn to this one again, because it never gets old. What is my favourite game of all time? I've got it down here. Let me just grab it. Final Fantasy VII. No surprises there, really. It is an absolute masterpiece. Many people have this game as their favourite game of all time. It was originally released just after Squaresoft made the switch from Nintendo to Sony, and it was originally, the game itself was designed purely to show off what the PS1 was capable of. And it succeeded in that. And in the early days of the PS1, they really were at the forefront of coding technology and three-dimensional graphics. And it's sad that the blocky graphics that it has does not age well anymore. But at the time, it was mind-blowing. I mean, the game itself was released in 1997, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 1997, and at that point, I mean, nothing really had graphics on the scale of like now we've got games that have like you wouldn't play unless they have good graphics. Whereas Final Fantasy VII, back in those days, the graphics weren't, you know, mind blowing like they are today, but to us they were mind-blowing because we'd never seen anything at that stage before. It was all two-dimensional until that kind of era, and they really were at the forefront. Final Fantasy VII is an open-world RPG featuring random turn-based battles, multiple in-game mini-games. This game really can quite easily take over 100 hours to complete. But you really would think you'd get bored, but you don't. Because of the number of tiny little mini-games, whether it's motorcycling, commanding an army, chocobo racing, rock climbing, you do snowboarding, you drive a submarine, you battle in the battle arena. There's so many in-game little mini-games that happen all the way through, and it just keeps your focus. But the one thing that is so good about Final Fantasy VII is the storyline. It's so dark, and yet it has so many moments of levity and so many moments of sheer despair. And it's that juxtaposition of like angst and hilarity. It's brilliant. The thing is, when I first played this game, I would have been 10 or 11, and the dark emotional roller coaster, it just blew my mind. Like it was too much for my little 10-year-old mind to comprehend. The story is gritty, it's dark, it's fantastic. At some points it'll make you laugh, at other points it will make you cry. A couple of honourable mentions at the end. My fourth favourite game of all time is Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's got to be up there somewhere. One of the best games ever made, an absolute masterpiece. Cannot be forgotten. And my fifth favourite game of all time is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. GTA Vice City just consumed my life as a teenager. It was brilliant. Loved it. Play it again. Again, I think it's a masterpiece. So the next question is, for anyone that wants to get into retro gaming, what consoles and games do you recommend starting off with? Now, you can go down two routes here. You can either go with Sega or you can go with Nintendo. The reason why I don't include the PS1 is because the games are quite easily scratched and don't always work. You can quite happily buy a game online and it be really scratched and not work at all. So I would when you're first starting out, I would avoid that. Just, you don't want to be disheartened by that. The games that really are reliable are the cartridge games, so I would start with them. And definitely start with the SNES or the Sega Mega Drive, just because they were very, very big in their time. They sold well, there's a lot of them around, and at the moment a lot of people are selling them off, selling them out of their old attics. You know, a lot of people who originally owned these are now in their late 20s and early 30s and looking to sell off their old stuff. So they're actually quite cheap. Now, I would say the Sega Mega Drive you're going to find is a little bit cheaper. Don't ask me why. And you can find online, if you search on eBay for Sega Mega Drive console, you'll find it's usually being sold with a few games as well. It's this. I'd say of the two, the Sega Mega Drive is probably the first one to go for. My favourite though is the SNES. I would say if you're not into Sega, or you're more likely to find some good games on the SNES. There are some really brilliant ones out there on the SNES, which are not too expensive. Super Mario All Stars, Super Mario World, Zelda: A Link to the Past. You've got Donkey Kong Country. I mean, all of those, they're not that expensive, and you've got a selection of some of the greatest games of all time just there, you know. Sega Mega Drive, go for Sonic the Hedgehog. Go for Sonic 2. Go for Sonic 3. Then spread out from there. Streets of Rage is a good one to go for. If you do go for a SNES, get Street Fighter. Play it with your friends. Really fun. Really good fun. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. In all honesty, to me, it's not about owning them per se. It's about being able to play them. It's all about the gameplay. To me, there's no point in having a never opened, perfect condition copy of a very rare game if I can't open it and play the game. It's not about owning trophies, you know. To me, it's about gameplay. What would you want to see happen to gaming in the future? So, at this point in time, gaming is looking particularly exciting with the whole new VR, virtual reality stuff, and a lot of PC gaming is going online, downloadable games featuring downloadable content. But to me, I'm all for any of that, so long as the game creation itself remains like a form of creative media, as an art form and a way of storytelling, you know. And I'll be happy as long as it stays that way. While I'm here, I just want to show you my new display. I've recently gotten rid of some of my collection of DVDs I had here, and my CDs that I had, and I've replaced them with some of the games that I've collected over the years. So this is mainly just, this is the majority of my NES game collection. I don't have too many of those. Some of my Sega Mega Drive games, again, not too many good ones, just like Sonic there, Sonic 3, Shining Force and Phantasy Star are probably the only ones that are of any worth. Can't wait to play them. I want to collect some of the prequels and sequels to those, but they're expensive and hard to find at the moment, and I'm focusing mainly on SNES games. I've got some PAL SNES games at front. Behind I have some of the American style NSTC games. So they're just easily grabbed for me if I fancy playing any games. We've got Zelda here. What else we got? Prince of Persia, Mario Kart, Super Metroid. My favourite games, a selection of my favourite games. And then, yeah, we've also got some of the better PS1 titles that I own there. So that's my my little display. It's mainly just for my own benefit, really, just something for me to look at in the morning. I go, ooh, look at the games that I have. This video has mainly been about the questions that I was asked by Holly from Phoenix Remix. I'll leave a link in the description below with regards to the Phoenix Remix. Go and check it out yourself. It's an online blog. They release lots and lots of different articles about all sorts of subjects. Go check that out now. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.